Chapter 25. He makes me go crazy. Ava put the baby down and stood up to grab her. The baby cried. Ivy had reached the doorway. Atticus's voice rumbled outside. He was greeting the house cleaner. Ava picked the baby and sat on the chair. She hit the baby's bottle down to lose its cape as Ivy picked it up and spoke to her. I had come to apologize to you about sleeping with your ex. The fact is I slept with RZ, my husband, your ex-husband. I am carrying his son, RZ Jr. Ava grabbed Ivy by hand and pulled her towards the table, then hit the fingers on the dining table as Ivy used her heel and pressed it hard onto Ivy's toys, then whispered, "You lost him the day you chose the old drunkard. I had no choice but to win him over. Actually, I seduced and gave him what you failed to offer the time you spent with him." Ava felt a thorn piercing her heart and shouted loudly, "He is my husband, and no one shall take him." Atticus replied upon entering that he was hers forever. He walked towards them and got the baby from her, kissed it, and turned to Ivy, whom she welcomed home. They talked for a while as Ivy requested Atticus to love his woman more than ever and keep her such that the two lived to see their grandchildren. The man was happy to hear that Ivy finally endorsed the two's relationship, yet she initially condemned it. He promised to protect her from any danger till end came in. Ivy used this chance to say goodbye before Ava tore her into pieces. However, Ava insisted to escort her. Ivy, "I will be safe. Feed the baby." Ava, "I cannot risk wolves to eat you. Let me push you." Ivy, "Dad Junior came to pick me. I have to see him." Ava, "Wait, let me kill that fool first. He pretended to be holy all along." Ivy had improved her tricks. She knew that talking about this would raise fury in Ava's heart to speak ruthlessly, which would drive Atticus to follow the two. All moved out at once and found Harper in the car. She said hi to Ava and Atticus, then drove her friend away. Ava never rested. She looked for Arrow's contact for a full week, minus seeing it, then decided to come and see me. The most surprising thing, Arrow had changed the locks. Her keys were invalid. And this clearly revealed that she no longer had strings attached to us. Ella welcomed her as a normal person and cooked her favorite dish, banana and beef, as she eagerly waited for me. That evening was so special, for when I saw the shoes, I complained from the doorway that if it was the woman who broke my brother's heart, she was not welcomed. However, my words dried up on my cheeks. Ava had a beautiful baby girl with Arrow's eyes. She too was surprised when I mentioned that it took her daddy's sparkling eyes. Ella inquired whether I knew the father while knocking at Ava, as if the two had talked about it. It was obvious when I showed them my toys and told them that the baby belonged to us. Ava kept quiet and waited me to settle. Then he complained about Arrow's habit of changing contacts. I would not have given in his number if the baby belonged to another man. There I called first and congratulated him upon becoming a father. He was not surprised but never commented. His silence meant backing off. I knew he was not happy as Ava asked me to interpret his response. He might have given up on her. If I was right, it meant Ava had no room of getting him back. She quarreled that Arrow was unfair to her because he managed to secure Ivy a job within 1 month, yet he never cared about her. This was news to us. She kept mum and thought Ivy intended to hurt her, but recalled her speaking with sincerity, then said goodbye to us. We stayed discussing about Ivy. This really made our night. However much I had seconded Nina, Ivy remained the best candidate for Arrow. Ella was the happiest because her dream knocked at Arrow's door at the right time. She danced while jumping around the sitting room as I called Arrow again. He quarreled initially about nosing into issues that never concerned me, but when I mentioned the name Ivy, he went dumb. He was one person who never risked anything for nothing. Ella mocked him that he had finally followed her advice as she laughed. He diverted her and inquired about home. I knew the two had been seeing each other. Anyway, he panicked while in Kenya, counting days to come back. The launch had moved on well and looked forward to completing the country tour. Arrow hit the table consecutively while cogitating about Ava's baby. He calculated the number of weeks she carried the baby and compared with his estimation as a man. They did not add correctly. He recalled that Ava had given birth some weeks back. He was not sure. While he was still confused, he recalled Ivy's name on my lips and got stuck. He predicted that we might have landed on his secret. While still moving around the hotel room, he picked up a call from Uganda from a number he didn't know. Oh, he heard Ava's voice. "How dare you bed with Ivy?"